My dear friend, if you are watching this, you know exactly what it feels like to love your family deeply, but still feel overwhelmed by them. This feeling, it starts small. It's a comment about the dust in the corner. It's a quick suggestion that maybe you should stop driving. It's a quiet change of medication dosage without a clear explanation. And then, one day, you wake up and realize you are being managed. You feel less like the head of your own home and more like a tenant. The greatest fear we face as we age is not just about a fall or running out of money, though those are real worries. No. The deepest fear is losing our dignity and becoming a burden. That feeling that the people you raised are now talking about you instead of to you. We want peace in our home. We want protection for our savings. We want to keep our independence as long as possible. But these things are impossible if you don't set clear, loving boundaries. Many of us are suffering in silence because we confuse boundary setting with selfishness. We think saying no means we are rejecting their love. That is simply not true. Boundaries are not fences built to keep people out. They are hedges planted to preserve the garden of your peace. Today, we are going to change the emotional atmosphere in your house. We are going to stop the slow erosion of your independence. I am going to give you 3 very simple, powerful sentences, a script you can use immediately, starting today, to reclaim your voice and stop feeling like a burden. Remember this: your adult children usually mean well. They worry about you. But worry, when left unchecked, turns into control. And control, even if motivated by love, will steal your peace. Let's look at the 3 most common situations where your control is challenged after 60, your health decisions, your home management, and your personal timing. The control challenge. Number 1, unsolicited advice and health management. This is the scenario. Your daughter rushes you to the doctor and starts answering the questions before you can. Or your son insists you must move to a smaller apartment immediately because the yard is too much work. You feel a knot in your stomach. You feel rushed, incapable, and ultimately dismissed. Your goal here is to establish yourself as the primary decision-maker in your own life and body. You must politely but firmly redirect the focus back to yourself. This brings us to sentence number 1. You must practice this sentence until it feels like second nature. It addresses their concern, validates their presence, and redirects the final authority back to you. When they start taking over the conversation, arguing about a financial choice, or telling you what treatment you must accept, you pause, look them directly in the eye, and you say, Sentence 1. I appreciate your concern, but I need time to think about this on my own before I decide. Let's break down why this works. The I appreciate your concern is the hug. It acknowledges their effort and prevents an immediate defensive reaction. The second part, I need time to think about this on my own, is the shield. It is a request for space, not a final rejection. It stops the immediate pressure that leads to regretful, hurried decisions. The key phrase here is, on my own. It affirms that the final processing and decision-making authority belongs solely to you. Use this when they bring up moving, selling the car, changing banks, or starting a new medication. It buys you 24 hours of peace to weigh the pros and cons without emotional pressure. You are telling them, I am an adult capable of independent thought. This is the foundation of regaining peace. The control challenge. Number 2, the invasion of your physical space. This challenge often happens when your adult child comes over and sees what they perceive as clutter. Maybe they decide to rearrange your kitchen cabinets or throw away half of the things in your utility closet because they think they are helping you declutter. You might feel a sudden rush of shame. They look at your home and judge your life choices. This physical intervention often feels like an invasion of privacy, even if the intentions are pure. Your home is where your history lives. Your goal here is to establish your home as sacred territory, run by your rules. You must make it clear that assistance is only welcome when specifically requested. This leads us to sentence number 2. This sentence must be deployed immediately when they reach for a broom. Start reorganizing your pantry without asking, or suggest repainting your bedroom wall. You step in gently, place your hand on their arm if necessary, and say clearly, Sentence 2. I'm fine, thank you. If I need help with that, I promise I will ask you. Notice the difference between this and just shouting, "Stop! I'm fine, thank you" is a complete sentence that closes the subject. It asserts your present capability. You are subtly reminding them that you still have control over your daily routine. The second part, "If I need help, I promise I will ask you," establishes the process for future assistance. It tells them, your help is valuable, but it must be invited. This prevents the shame spiral. It stops the feeling that your home is inadequate or embarrassing. It keeps the kitchen running your way, which is vital for your comfort and routine. Remember, your routines keep you safe, mentally and physically. Disrupting them leads to anxiety and sometimes even falls. The control challenge. Number 3, the assumption of full availability. As we age, our energy reserves change. We cannot keep up the pace of our 30s or 40s. But often, family assumes that because we are retired or living alone, we are always available to run errands, babysit, or drop everything when they call. If you don't manage your time, they will. And constant, unmanaged requests lead to exhaustion and resentment. You stop feeling like a valued relative and start feeling like an overworked, unpaid assistant. Your goal is to reassert control over your personal time and rest schedule. This brings us to sentence number 3. This is a powerful sentence because it manages expectations and protects your energy without sounding demanding. When the phone rings and they start rattling off a request for help right now, or when they propose a complex, exhausting plan for the weekend, you pause, take a breath, and use this line. Sentence 3. Let me check my calendar. I will get back to you with a yes or no by tomorrow afternoon. Why is this essential? It does 2 things. First, let me check my calendar implies that you have a life, you have commitments. Even if your commitment is simply sitting down and reading a book, it is a legitimate commitment. Second, it eliminates the pressure of the immediate yes. It removes the obligation to perform on demand. By providing a specific response time, tomorrow afternoon, you are managing their expectation while giving yourself the necessary space to genuinely assess your energy levels and desires. You do not need to explain what is in your calendar. The phrase itself is enough to command respect for your schedule. These 3 sentences. Sentence 1. I need time to think about this on my own. Sentence 2. I'm fine, thank you. I will ask you if I need help. And sentence 3. Let me check my calendar. I will get back to you by tomorrow. Are the core toolkit for preserving your emotional peace at home. Practice them. Write them down. Say them out loud. They are your new boundaries. They are the keys to stopping that devastating feeling of being a burden. You are not a burden. You are simply a wise person demanding respect for your choices. But establishing emotional boundaries is only half the battle. We must also be vigilant about the concrete steps that protect our security and prevent dependency in the first place. One of the quickest ways we lose independence is through financial mistakes that could have easily been avoided. Coming up next, we're going to discuss the 3 critical financial protections you must put in place now, not next year, to ensure that worry about money doesn't force you to give up your home peace. If you are serious about restoring that personal peace and lifting that heavy weight of obligation and shame, we must start acting differently. We cannot wait for them to change. We must change how we respond. This is the hard part, but it is the key to unlocking your freedom. We are going to put aside the fear of confrontation and replace it with a firm, quiet dignity. The goal of these sentences is simple: to shift you from being the passive subject of worry to the active owner of your own life. Let's start with the first simple sentence you need to memorize and use immediately. This sentence addresses the issue of unsolicited help, the loving but invasive actions that make you feel like your home and decisions are no longer yours. This happens when your adult child decides to straighten up your pantry, or assumes they need to handle your utility bill, or tells you what time you should go to bed. These acts, though well-intentioned, slowly erode your confidence and signal that you are no longer capable of managing the basics. Your first weapon in regaining control is a phrase designed to acknowledge their love while firmly drawing a line in the sand. Sentence number 1. The dignity shield. This is what you say when they step in where you didn't ask them to. Thank you for noticing. I have a plan for that right now, and I'll let you know if I change it. Notice what this sentence does. It doesn't accuse them of meddling. It doesn't apologize for your pace or your mess. It simply states that you are in charge of the current process and you have already thought about it. Let's see how this works in a real situation. Imagine you are cleaning the kitchen on Sunday morning. Perhaps you are a little slower than you used to be and you've left a few pots to soak. Your son or daughter walks in, sees the clutter, and starts aggressively loading the dishwasher, sighing about the mess. The old response might be, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was just about to get to that," which reinforces the idea that you were failing and needed rescuing. The new, peaceful response is, "Thank you for noticing. I have a plan for that right now, and I'll let you know if I change it." And then you simply continue with your own pace, or you move to the next thing you intended to do. You do not argue. You do not explain why the pots needed soaking. You simply affirm that the task is managed. Another scenario. You are trying to figure out a new feature on your TV remote, taking your time. Your grandchild rushes over, grabs the remote from your hand and snaps, "Here, let me just do it, Grandma. It's much faster." Instead of submitting and feeling frustrated, "Thank you for noticing. I have a plan for that right now, and I'll let you know if I change it." You are reclaiming the right to struggle. You are reclaiming the right to learn slowly. You are reclaiming the right to manage your own home, your own things, and your own time. You are signaling, "I am the adult here." Practice saying this sentence aloud right now. Memorize the rhythm of the words. It is calm, firm, and respectful. It is your dignity shield. Now, let's move to the second major area where feeling like a burden erodes your peace, your money. The anxiety about money is often the loudest worry in the quiet hours after 60. Will the money last? Are the bills paid? Do I have enough for that copay? Your children, seeing this anxiety or fearing the future themselves, often cross a line here. They start asking detailed, invasive questions about your savings, your pensions, or the details of your investments during casual visits. They may even start judging your small purchases, making you feel ashamed for spending your own money on a new dress or a special gift for yourself. When they start managing your money, even if they only manage your guilt about your money, you lose one of the last major pillars of independence. You need a clear professional boundary for financial discussions that stops the intrusion without creating an emotional storm. Sentence number 2, the financial shield. This is what you say when family members start prying into your account balances, bills, or investment choices, or when they question your spending decisions. "I've got this handled for now. We can schedule a business meeting next month to look at the long-term plan, if necessary." This sentence is powerful because it uses the language of business, not family obligation. It takes the emotional tension out of the money talk. If your son says, "Dad, why did you buy that expensive new television? We talked about conserving cash." Your old response might be, "Well, I deserved it, and I paid for it with my money, so leave me alone," leading to a fight and more guilt. Your new response, "I've got this handled for now. We can schedule a business meeting next month to look at the long-term plan, if necessary." By shifting the conversation to a scheduled business meeting, you achieve two things. First, you instantly shut down the casual, disrespectful interrogation. Second, you signal that if a serious discussion about your finances is needed, it will be done on your terms with preparation and with dignity, not over Sunday lunch. It reaffirms that you are the CEO of your own finances. Remember, the vast majority of your peace is stolen not by catastrophes, but by the accumulation of small indignities, the unwanted advice, the taken-over tasks, the questioning of your competence. These two sentences are your protective barrier against those daily invasions. They allow you to maintain control over your space and your savings, which are critical to protecting your peace in these years. But we have one more sentence left, and this last one is perhaps the most important. It deals not with things or money, but with the deepest fear of all, the fear of loneliness and being truly forgotten. This third sentence is the key to managing emotional expectations, and it is the only way to ensure that your need for connection is met without you resorting to demanding behavior or feeling desperate. We will cover that crucial third sentence and the powerful shift in thinking that must accompany it right after this brief moment. We have spent the last moments discussing the root of this anxiety, the fear of becoming a burden, and the constant pressure of family advice. Now, we move to the solution. The wisdom that changes everything is not about screaming or fighting. It is about using precise, calm, and repeatable language. These 3 sentences are your quiet armor. They stop the intrusion without starting a fight. They declare that you are still the captain of your own ship, even if you sometimes need a gentle hand to steady the wheel. Let's look at the first sentence. This one is for reclaiming your routine and your health decisions. Your adult child sees you making coffee at night and says, "Mom, you know caffeine keeps you up. Why don't you try this herbal tea I bought you? And did you take your vitamin D yet? Let me check your pill box." It comes from love, but it feels like the walls are closing in. You feel infantilized. You might snap back, "Stop checking up on me," which only leads to hurt feelings on both sides. Instead, you use the first sentence. It validates their care, but asserts your competence. Here it is. Say it slowly. Practice it now with me. Sentence 1. Thank you for suggesting that. I am managing this my own way for the moment. Say it again. Thank you for suggesting that. I am managing this my own way for the moment. The key phrase is for the moment. It doesn't permanently reject their advice, which keeps the peace, but it establishes that you are the manager of your routine. Today, use this sentence when your daughter tries to reorganize your spice rack for the 3rd time. Use it when your son insists you must use a particular brand of walking stick. Use it when someone questions your choice of physician or asks why you bought those specific groceries. The next time they check your medicine cabinet, thank you for suggesting that. I am managing this my own way for the moment. Then pivot gently. But tell me about your day. You have drawn a clear line around your daily independence, and you did it calmly. That is true wisdom. The second sentence is for reclaiming your precious peace and personal space. The greatest luxury in retirement is quiet. But sometimes, family treats your home like a revolving door. They drop by unannounced, expecting you to host them immediately. They stay too late. They talk constantly about their jobs or their children, leaving you feeling emotionally drained and overlooked. You might feel trapped, pacing the hallway, just wishing for 15 minutes alone to read or rest your eyes. The pain here is that you love them, but your nervous system needs a break. You cannot be a good parent or grandparent if you are depleted. The second sentence allows you to take a time out without banishing them entirely. It works best if you pair it with a specific time limit. Specificity is your greatest tool for boundaries. Here is the second sentence. Sentence 2, I need 15 minutes of quiet time right now, starting now. Say it clearly. I need 15 minutes of quiet time right now, starting now. If your grandson bursts in demanding help with a complex school project just as you sit down for lunch, don't ignore him, but don't drop everything either. You look at him calmly and say, I love you. I can help with that, but I need 15 minutes of quiet time right now, starting now. I will meet you in the office when the 15 minutes are up. If your daughter shows up unexpectedly and starts talking urgently about problems at her job while you are clearly busy or tired, I love seeing you. Give me 15 minutes of quiet time right now, starting now. I need to recharge, and then we can talk. By naming the time, you respect their presence, but you train them to respect your need for rest. You are teaching them that your peace is sacred, and it is non-negotiable. This is the key to preventing the exhaustion that leads to you feeling like a burden. If you are always tired, you are less resilient. If you are less resilient, you start to believe the lie that you cannot cope alone. Protect your 15 minutes. It is a tiny investment that pays huge dividends in dignity. Now, we come to the final and perhaps the most difficult boundary. This is the sentence that protects your financial independence and stops the painful queries about money, wills, and the house. For many of us, the fear of running out of money is second only to the fear of falling. This vulnerability is often where family pressure increases the most. They might ask invasive questions. Are you sure you shouldn't downsize? Do you really need to take that trip? Let me just look at your bills to make sure you're not getting scammed. They are trying to protect their inheritance, or sometimes they genuinely worry about your security. But every time this happens, you feel the shame, the implication that you are no longer smart enough to handle your own affairs. Losing control of your money is the fastest path to feeling completely dependent. This third sentence must be delivered with the warmth of a loving parent, but the finality of a CEO closing a deal. Here is your shield against financial invasion. Sentence 3. My financial planning is handled, and I will let you know if I need help. Repeat this one out loud. My financial planning is handled, and I will let you know if I need help. If they ask about your long-term care plans, my financial planning is handled, and I will let you know if I need help. If they question a large purchase you made or suggest you sign over management of your accounts, my financial planning is handled, and I will let you know if I need help. It is a complete statement. It provides no room for debate, and crucially, the phrase, I will let you know if I need help, subtly reminds them that the power to ask for assistance rests solely with you. You control the dialogue. These 3 sentences about managing your routine, managing your time, and managing your money are the cornerstones of maintaining dignity in later life. They allow you to shift from being reactive, stressed, and guilt-ridden to being proactive, calm, and respected. But putting these sentences into a practice is only half the battle. The deepest, most profound peace does not come from what you say to others. It comes from what you cultivate within yourself. In the final part of our conversation, we must address the single most important decision you can make right now to protect your health, prevent falls, and create an absolute barrier against loneliness. It is a decision that requires courage, and it is the only way to ensure the peace we have built with these boundaries truly lasts. Stay with me, because this last habit is the master key to aging well. We have talked about 2 vital sentences to carve out emotional space. Now, let's talk about the third, and perhaps the hardest for many of us, the defense of your physical space and your daily schedule. This is the boundary that protects your home itself. It's where the feeling of being a burden often hits hardest, when people imply that you are incapable of managing your own life, your own possessions, or your own routine. The tension usually starts with a cleanup or an organization project. Your adult child arrives with the best intentions, sees something messy, or perhaps sees a valuable antique they think you should sell, and they dive in. They rearrange your pantry. They schedule a doctor's appointment without asking your preferred time. They start sorting through the attic or the garage. And even though they are trying to help, it feels like they are marking your home as a failing institution that needs outside management. It steals your dignity, shelf by shelf, day by day. You feel that suffocating fear. If I let them decide this small thing, what will they decide next? This third sentence requires you to be gentle, loving, but absolutely firm about who is the captain of this ship, the ship being your home. Your third sentence, ready for the moment they cross the line of help into takeover, is this: I appreciate your care, but this space is intentionally organized the way it is right now. Thank you for respecting that I handle my decisions about X. Let's break down the power of those 2 simple parts. The first part, I appreciate your care, removes the sting. You acknowledge their good heart, you validate their effort. The second part, this space is intentionally organized the way it is right now, is a gentle but non-negotiable declaration of competency. You're telling them, I know where everything is. This apparent clutter is actually my filing system. And the final kicker. Thank you for respecting that I handle my decisions about X. This reinforces that the boundary is about respect, not about rejecting their love. Practice it for common flashpoints. Scenario A. Your daughter wants to throw away your stack of old craft magazines, saying they are clutter. You say, I appreciate your care, but those magazines are intentionally organized right there. Thank you for respecting that I handle my decisions about my reading material. Scenario B. Your son decides he's going to schedule a handyman to replace a light fixture you haven't complained about. You say, "I appreciate your care, but this is an expense I handle on my own timeline. Thank you for respecting that I manage my household maintenance decisions." It takes practice. Your voice might shake the first time. You might feel a pang of guilt. But remember, guilt is just an emotion telling you that you are making a necessary change. It doesn't mean you are wrong. When you use these 3 sentences, one for your time, one for your emotional space, and one for your physical home, you teach your family how to treat you. You train them to see you as the independent, capable elder you are, not a project requiring supervision. The immediate result is peace. The shame lifts. You walk through your home knowing it is truly yours, governed by your rules, your taste, and your timeline. This is the quiet power of wisdom. It is not about yelling or slamming doors. It is about steady, gentle language that defines your life. If you commit to using just one of these sentences this week, perhaps the one about getting your quiet time back, you will instantly feel lighter. You will stop feeling like a burden, because burdens don't set rules. Capable people do. But peace at home isn't just about managing family. It's also about managing the resources that keep your independence stable. Setting emotional boundaries protects your spirit, but setting financial boundaries protects your future. In the next part, we are going to look closely at a common financial mistake people over 60 often make out of generosity or guilt. It is the one decision that can undermine all the independence and peace we have worked so hard to establish here.